Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. It is Icon here. Thanks for checking out another episode of Esports Analysis. In today's video, we are hopping on board with ENVOY as he and the Chicago Huntsmen go to battle against the Dallas Empire. This is now the third scrim in a row between these two teams that I've broken down. As I said in the first couple, Chicago did end up winning this Hardpoint series 3-2. They won Gunrunner, Ramaza, and Petrograd. They lost the Hackney Yard and the Azir Cave. I was a little bit surprised by the Azir Cave just because they normally do pretty well on a map that's big like that, especially since they've changed their meta a little bit and Pristini, Arcides, and Formal all run ARs on Azir Cave. I don't know. They just seem to do really well on that map, and in that specific, or in this specific instance, they really didn't. But as we hop on board here and we talk about the actual analysis with ENVOY, there's 20 seconds left in P1, and not only have they done a pretty decent job of capturing time and contesting inside P1, they also were able to flip spawns. So off the break, they didn't have the beneficial spawn, and they've been able to flank through mid, get behind back bar, and secure that spawn. Just to kind of show you what that looks like real quick, there's obviously a good spawn, which is on the right side of the map. This is where Dallas spawned over here on the right side of the map, and this is the spawn that you want to have, right? Because as it rotates, you want to have these back bar spawns for the P2 Hardpoint, which is one of the money hills on this map. So right off the rip, all they did is they just pushed through mid, and they've done this a couple times. They've gotten through blue courtyard, and as long as you can get like 1 or 2 kills, I'm probably somebody like Clayster in this matchup. I didn't see who it was exactly, but if you get 1 or 2 kills in this area right here, then that flank is going to be open. So as soon as you do that, you can just hit this to back bar, and as soon as you get back there, you have the right side of the map, so it'll automatically, if not put your teammates here, it'll put them inside of P2, right? If there's somebody from Dallas who's inside of P4 somewhere in here, top bar or bottom bar, then that'll put you in P2. But if there's nobody there, it'll just put you in those back bar spawns. So they were successful at that, and as we get back in here, it's currently 32-16, but I would suspect that a lot of this time is going to end up going towards Chicago as long as they can get these cuts. But again, I love the fact that when we listen into scrims, we can hear team comms, we can hear strategy, we can hear what people are saying. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn up the team comms. Of course, I'll still stop it where I feel it is most needed, but without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's listen into the Chicago team comms.
Top pressing.
And they're dead.
River, Chauncey. Top blue, Kyler.
Front hill, weak, Scrim.
Dead.
Nice, Kyler was top blue last guy, I'm rotating.
One river, Illy,
They're gonna be all over river, guys.
He's still top blue, He hit me old, Shotzi hit me old.
And they're
Fine, we spun
absolutely
out,
dead.
good job.
Yo,
Jump.
track.
Track's dead. Three, holy shit, yeah, 3 beat on. 2 beat on, 1 C elbow.
I'm backing up, river.
Back up, guys.
Okay.
Close. Shit. One's beat on right now.
Should just hit, I guess. There's 2 and new.
Nice, good job.
Got me in window. This is going fucking
Window kind of weak. I don't want.
good job. Oh my god.
One's gonna be behind us too.
I see, I saw
I got blown out, dude.
We spawned.
That is dead.
Just to go ahead and just pause this real quick, just so you guys can see how Chicago or how Dallas broke that. So Chicago did have these back bar spawns. They had control of P2 initially. As that was happening, that meant that Dallas was spawning up over here towards river. So as they flooded out, ENVOY was the first person to rotate, right? He spawned up, he rotated, he was hiding in this back building before pushing forward onto this head glitch, trying to get those kills through that mid cut by B-Dom. But as that was happening, Dallas went ahead and they rotated also, and essentially they won the majority of the team battles here in the middle of the map, here by B-Dom. And once you do that, you heard Pristini say they had 1 going over here towards train tracks, you had 2 going B-Dom, and as soon as those 2 hit that mid cut from B-Bomb, they were able to kill Dylan, who was on this back spawn, which is now how they have these back spawns, and they're set up for P3. So the current score is 56-39. Dallas is winning, and that's probably going to be extended a little bit just because they were able to hit that break on P3.
Another one. He's yellow van right now.
I'll kill him.
Stand
Down.
Nice, good job.
Deep right, Clay. One shot back.
Hey, shot from mid.
Beat on.
He's full health. Kill me deep right, Clay. Clay got me deep right, good job. One more C elbow, guys. We need to go left.
C-elbow.
Go
I'm trying
left.
to help
Go
you
left.
left. Helping you left.
I fucked
Trying to
up
go
my
left
jump,
here.
He's still C-elbow.
Is he? He didn't
He
push
could
it.
have went pushed. He could have.
dude. Gate, 1 bullet.
Yo, he's mid tracks.
Back hill.
Look dead. Got him.
Jump.
Back right.
Illy.
One hill.
Hopping hill.
Gate, really weak.
Close to dead.
Nice.
In
Back
bathrooms.
right.
Bathrooms and backside hill.
Window one shot. I got naded. Absolute Kyler
Oh,
window.
he's
Game,
fucking back door. They're all.
Alright,
He's
we're
on
gonna get
gate.
full 60 off this.
Yo, one just jumped out. One just
Gate,
jumped out, guys.
Tyler, Gate, Tyler,
He's already
Gate,
out.
Gate,
He's top
Tyler,
restaurant, guys. He's already out.
River dead. I got 2 river.
Is he
Oh,
top
can't see a thing.
What?
Yeah,
Nice.
you got it.
Line.
Line dead. Line dead.
Nice. That's 4.
Pushing the first. Get time. Yeah.
Putting pressure on.
I'm
backing up.
Pressure on. River dead. No
I'm
one's
at P1, guys.
Top pass. I'm just
Make sure we're not. Oh my God, we're
I'm
pushing.
holding
the
blue.
floor.
Yeah, one
Yeah,
stop
guys.
pass.
Make sure nothing gets
What's
past
up,
you
guys?
guys.
I'm looking.
Yeah,
They can be tracked.
They go tracks.
Yellow van.
I'm looking river.
Top pass again, yo. 3
four-
beat
there's
on.
like four beat on.
Four beat on.
All
Yeah, they're
four
all
middle,
over
yeah.
mid.
I got one right.
I'm just
Need your
crossing the
tracks
hill.
down, need your tracks
They're
down.
not hitting front. They're
Dude,
not
I'm
hitting
dead.
P1. They're not hitting P1, guys.
He's in court on me. Court on me. Court and 2 blue dump. 3 blue dump. 3 blue dump.
Hiding hill.
8 on play.
Sam,
There's
I'm
one
alive.
first,
There's
there's one
3.
first.
There's 3 front. There's like
I needed my side.
There's 2 blue van.
Side.
bottom blue. He went bottom blue. Kyler.
Flooding.
8 on, ender, one shot.
Top blue up. Stand alive front.
Go to the back.
One's bottom blue or something.
Here's my front side.
Yo, block the back. Block the back.
Side door.
right
Side door.
now. I gave it front. Yeah, my bad. I
Side
gave
door
it
hurt,
front.
side door
Yo,
hurt.
so front door.
Helping you. I'm helping you.
Yo, we flip.
Yeah, in the back.
Going new.
Looking back, P2.
Yo,
So
courtyard, no,
just to kind
courtyard.
of break this down real quick, I don't love this play from Chicago. So obviously they had initial setup on P4, and you saw Envoy kind of finessing here in blue courtyard. But when he got killed, since Dallas left P3, they went towards B-Dom and they worked this flip, or it wasn't necessarily a flip, but they did push this blue courtyard side of the map. You saw all the people push Envoy down there. As soon as that happened, they overtook that back spawn. So that's what started putting Envoy over here. And from here, it's a little bit harder to get inside of P4. Even though they still had a couple players inside of the hardpoint, it's just harder to make this cross right here, especially if they have blue control, especially if it's a main AR like Clayster or somebody, because it's really easy to get that kill as you get through that choke point. So that was kind of the transition there as it went from P3 to P4. But Chicago's still only down by 20. You do want to have the right side spawns for the next few hills, right? P5, P1, P2. You do want to be spawning over here towards back bar if you can hold it down, but they're not. So we'll see if they're able to overtake that. But let's go ahead. Let's hop back in.
Crim, one shot.
Yeah, we didn't flip. We didn't.
Yeah, we did.
We did, but like, I'm full.
Yeah.
I'm blocking.
Because I pushed out front.
Lion, Shotzi, bro.
I'm in blue court. Back door new.
I don't see anything yellow
Spawn
van.
P1.
I go bottom
I'm
blue.
wrapping back.
Might have got to L.
I'm gonna take a long route.
I'll see him back door.
He's
back
blue
door.
dump. Blue
Play one
dump into
shot.
L.
What the
Blue dump.
fuck?
Wow.
Try to get us case phones.
Good
See
corner.
that tracks.
When you go river, guys. Make sure you go
Yeah,
river.
Listen, go around.
Helping pressing. I'm helping pressing.
Line.
I'll kill line.
Dead, dead, I'm
Push
one.
out back of L. Push out back L.
Back L, Shotzi.
Top river, top street.
I
got one blue
I'm
dump.
nading pressing.
I
I'm nading
can't
pressing.
see
I didn't hit him.
Back door hurt. Absolute.
Fight the shit, fight the shit.
No, one more court. Only one hill.
I
guys.
spawned L. I spawned L.
Another 2 hill.
Two back door.
Yeah.
Two back door.
My bad. We spawned back.
I died.
One.
Clear on time.
Another one back door.
One shot.
Rotate. Oh, what's front?
He killed me.
They flipped us. I spawned elbow.
Yeah, it's one here.
Nice. Good shit, too.
At that time.
They're going to be front. They're going to be front.
Here we got pinch.
It was beat on.
Leaving.
I'm dead.
I don't see beat
Pitching.
up.
Leaving you,
I
Matt.
went around. I went far.
Deep back. One shot. There's
Frame
2
one.
of them.
Curb dead.
I'll kill the
Other one
guy.
deep right,
I'll
deep
kill
right.
I'll kill full.
Clear nade on me. Yeah, I'm waiting.
Fine, river.
I'm helping
Okay,
bar
push
now.
up,
Last
Yeah,
week pressing.
I'm helping you guys on pinch.
I'm gonna help bar for this.
Yeah, they're spawning in new, guys. Spawning in new.
He's top.
I clear him off time. One pillars. Running
Got
down.
him.
Top, dead.
Top dead.
Pillars weak.
I got Murphy, dead.
Good help. 4. Last good time.
Backside
Work
time.
together. 5. Good break us. I'm going mid. Rotate the hill, Dill. Rotate
Yeah,
the hill.
I am.
You can pinch. I'm top resty right now, guys. I'm top resty.
I'm in
Run
small.
across.
There's like 8 bottom. There's 8 bottom fucking bar,
Bottom
dude.
blue.
Cross, 2 cross, full fleet, full cross.
I got two.
Got two small.
That's
One
4.
more.
You guys want to push?
Five.
Let's push.
He
Let's
should
push.
spawn out now.
You guys can push.
No, I'm-
Bar, Crim.
I'm going top bar.
Top bar dead.
Crim.
Side bar dead.
Top bar dead.
One more dead.
No one back bar. Shotzi yesterday.
Back bar. I don't
My
see
bad.
him.
They're still spawning there. There at P2. Yo, we're going river. Yo, I'm gonna go
Just
river.
holding top bar.
Yeah, I'm going river now. Stay alive. Oh, they hit all. That's good. Got
In
it.
new.
Pushing
In
out river now.
new. You're dead.
Yo, he's river.
Got another one in the back. River.
Bottom,
He
one
flanked
shot.
courtyard.
Absolute bottom bar.
River.
Funny. We need to kill
River
Ender.
hurt. River hurt.
I don't see
In
one bar.
hotel week.
Name
No,
me
red car. Red car.
I need a red car.
One
Red
shot.
car hotel and then bar.
Yeah,
Then
we
hit him
can
hotel.
We gotta try to get it.
Got him out time. I'm getting hotel.
Go.
I needed your top bar. Top bar dead.
Nice to W.
I got another one blue. I killed
Nothing
one
river, guys.
too.
Nothing river, guys.
There's
First
one-
spawns, first chance, or court.
Bottom bar, Ender.
All
Absolute
first.
bottom bar.
I'm looking bottom
So
bar.
just
bar,
as we kind
absolute.
of watch this play out here, really really nice job from Chicago of, as it entered P1, they didn't give up that time, right? They hit P1 very hard. So they got the majority of the time inside of P1. And then as soon as they got 4 dead, you heard Envoy say, we need to push this out. So they went ahead, they pushed through bar, and they were able to get those back spawns initially. It looks like they did end up giving those up because they're just really hard to hold, right? Especially if that team gets, your enemies get control of, if they're spawning river, they get control of the hard point, then it's just a short run across that street to take over those back bar spawns. But right now, scores 169 to 161, so they will be down by about 15 points as it rotates to P3. The one thing I don't like here, as I'm watching Envoy and I'm on board with him, is that if you're getting these initial P3 spawns, you have to be taking gun battles up near mid-map. So I would like to see him just move forward a little bit, go a little bit farther, be up towards B-Dom. So that way, even if you die up there, I don't know, see, that was really odd to me. But even if you die, like he's coming up off spawn right here, he can get back towards the hard point in enough time to enter another gun battle before they potentially get in and flip. So I don't know why he keeps going up there, but I would just like to see him be a little bit more crafty and a little bit more further up the map so that he can really take advantage of some of those spots. Let's go ahead. Let's listen back in.
No, dude, end the game. 10 seconds. What the hell's going on over here?
To us?
Yeah, you.
Don't worry about us, bro.
Okay, hardpoint's moving. We've got the hardpoint.
So active. We don't usually lag out, do we?
We've never lagged out.
Yeah, we're usually good.
So as you are listening into the team comms there, somebody from Dallas did end up lagging out. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see the end of this, but it was pretty close. I would say that since it was rotating, especially with them having spawns for P3, and Scump was on the flank there for P4, so they would have had an advantage going into P4. Would they have still ended up winning? Who knows, but unfortunate circumstance. But we'll count it as a victory just because it seemed like it was going to go their way. Now, of course, anything could happen, right? They could end up giving that up. They could end up not securing that rotation, even though Scump was back there. Nice little beat down there towards the end. But let's go ahead. Let's see the final scoreboard just so we can see exactly how this map ended up going. Looks like it was Scrim that ended up lagging out there, but Envoy went 21 and 23. It was a decent map basically for everybody, right? Formal was +8, Pristini +6, RC's +2, Scump +1. So Envoy was actually the only one that went negative, but in a matchup like this where everybody's so fast and there's so many quick SMGs for Dallas, that's not necessarily to be unexpected just because they like to trade out, right? They're all playing so fast. Underneath, Clay was -5, Illy -4, Huke +1, Shotzi -3, and that is all she wrote. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my coverage of the Dallas Scrim here against Chicago. It's the first time they've played in a few months, so I wanted to make sure I get out as many maps in that matchup as I possibly could. So if you're new around here, you enjoy this sort of content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I put out brand new videos every single day breaking down the Call of Duty League. Any comments whatsoever on this scrim as a whole, the last 3 maps, or maybe potentially just this one, make sure you put them down below. I love the interactions and hearing what you guys have to say. Make sure you leave a like, and I will catch you in tomorrow's upload.